Hi guys, this is step number 2 in your self-care kit, which is treating at home with Moxa or heat. You will look and see you have this giant box. Inside this box are your Moxa cones. Moxa is the herb mugwort, which is just condensed down into these little charcoal pencils. They've got a little sticky on the underside. The goal of this portion of treatment is to give a little heat to some points on your abdomen. It's really good for immunity as well as relaxation, stress relief. This is going to be the longest portion of the steps. Out of steps 1, 2, and 3, this will take you the most amount of time just because you've got to wait for these to burn down. I do want you to make sure you watch this video all the way through. I might repeat myself a little bit, but I want to make sure you're safe and you're good to go with Moxa. Just because, we're working with heat, we're working with things that it's not technically on fire, but we don't want to burn anything. We don't want to burn your skin. We don't want to burn your clothes. We don't want to ruin your couch. We don't want to ruin your carpet. So pay attention. If you've got questions on this, just let me know. It's super easy though. Before you get started for self-treating with Moxa, you want to have a bowl. It doesn't have to be as giant or ridiculous as this bowl. This is all I had when I was shooting the video. You also want to you have the bowl is going to be filled with water. Is step number 1. We're going to pretend I have that bowl filled. You also want to have a lighter. I don't have a lighter on hand at the clinic, so we'll simulate that part. And the other thing that's really helpful when you're removing the Moxa from your skin, a lot of people find it's pretty hot when you grab it by the base, so it's okay to have a set of tweezers or forceps on hand so you can grab a hold of it and you can get rid of it into the bowl without having your fingers be sensitive. So you've got your bowl of water, you've got your lighter, you've got your tweezers. Again, at the end of the video, I'm going to show you where you're going to be placing the Moxa, but I just want to give you a quick demo from start to finish, how to do this safely and kind of what the technique is. Find whatever strip of Moxa you want to start with. You've got these guys all set up, okay? The first step is when you peel the Moxa off, if you look on the underside, you can see it's kind of shiny. There's a little adhesive, a little sticky tack on there. If you look on the underside and this does not look sticky, what probably happened is you pulled up some paper from the underside of this. It won't stay on your body. It won't stay stuck. So you don't want to light one of these and then go to stick it to your body and have it fall off. So before I even light a Moxa cone, I like to just tap it and make sure the underside feels sticky, like there's a little tactile sensation there. Okay, so we've pulled it off. We've checked it. It's sticky. It's ready to go. You're going to hold the Moxa over your imaginary flame. Bear with me, or you can use a match. This will light with a match. There's not going to be any fire coming from the end of the Moxa. You'll know it's lit when it turns a little bit glowing red. It'll almost look like a charcoal briquette. Takes maybe 5-10 seconds of holding it over a flame. Once this is lit and ready to go, you want to, as quickly as possible, transfer this to your body and get it stuck because it's going to start to get hot. So I've lit my Moxa. It's glowing. I know it's sticky on the underside. For demonstration purposes, we're not going to do the abdomen yet. We're going to stick it to the skin, and then you can see this is ready to go. Now this just becomes a waiting game. This Moxa cone is going to slowly burn down from the top to the bottom. It takes maybe about 5 minutes. You are instantly going to feel, maybe not instantly, but you're going to start to feel some heat that's being transferred down through the hole in the middle of the Moxa. It's coming out the bottom. It's going to be transferred directly to your skin. Okay? As this slowly turns from black to white ash, the heat is going to slowly increase intensity. So as the cone burns down, the intensity of the heat is going to go up. It's going to be your job to make sure if at any point it feels like it's too hot or the sensation is too high, if it's too sharp, you need to be ready with your bowl. You need to be ready with your tweezers to go ahead and grab this off and throw it in the dish of water. You don't need to burn yourself or leave this on indefinitely to have a strong treatment effect. And when I say burn, you're not going to do any real damage, but there's a potential you could give yourself a blister if you leave this on too long. What I typically do, if you can tolerate it, is tell someone to leave this on, let it burn down, look at your watch, let it burn down for 5 minutes. After it burns down to the bottom, this is going to keep slowly transferring heat through the bottom of this cone into the skin. It's totally fine to leave it on. At the end of 5 minutes or thereabouts, what you want to do is grab the Moxa either by the base. So if you're grabbing with your fingers Grab it by the orange base so you're not touching the green portion. The green part's going to be really hot. Throw it in the dish of water or get rid of it with your set of tweezers. The instructions for how many cones to do is going to be in your take-home kit. A general recommendation, we're going to be showing you in a second points CV6 and CV12 on your abdomen. That's not important to remember what the names of them are, but a couple points around your belly button. I like to burn at least one cone each and let it sit for 5 minutes. You can burn both cones at the same time. If you didn't get any heat sensation from burning one cone, feel free to use some extra Moxa and keep going until you feel it. It's probably a little bit overkill if you're doing more than 3 cones. I would just move on for the day and hit step 3. If you've got questions, you can always let me know if you're not sure. And it's probably easiest just to include a quick demo of how you're going to stick those on the skin. So I'm going to restart now, kind of step, not step 1, but step like the beginning to the end of if I was treating it myself, just so you guys can see what it looks like. You can do this while you're, watching TV, hanging out. This doesn't have to be something where you're like laying down, meditating. So I've gone through, I've done auricular points on my ear. I'm now ready to move on to step 2, which is treatment on the abdomen. See if we can see okay. So you've got your belly button is the center point that we're going to focus on. You've got your belly button. We're basically treating 2 points, one a couple inches above, one a couple inches below. What I tell people is helpful, again, for basic, is to take 3 finger widths. So if I take 3 fingers, I place them in my abdomen. Where my third finger lands is where I'm going to put the bottom cone. And then I'm going to do the same thing. 3 fingers above. So you've basically created a Moxa little line going through the middle of your body. It's easiest to light the cones away from you. So again, I'm lighting Moxa. I've got my water. I'm ready to go. My simulated water, my ridiculous bowl. I've lit my Moxa cone. I've made sure it's sticky. This is now hot and ready to go. I'm going to stick that point on my abdomen while that one's burning. Slowly burning down. I'm lighting a cone, sticking it on my abdomen, and then you're just sitting. You're going to sit. Obviously, you don't want your shirt to recover. You're going to sit there. Once it feels hot, like it's ready to take it off, I've either got my fingers grabbing by the base or tweezers. At the end of 5 minutes, into the water. If you didn't feel any heat, you could retreat that again with a second round of Moxa or a third. In general, you're good to go. Questions, comments, concerns, please email me and we'll talk. And then you would move on to step 3, which is treating the body points with Press Tex.